You're listening to the Just Japan podcast. Everything you want to know about Japan.
Okay, everyone. Hey, welcome to the Just Japan podcast. Everything you want to know about Japan. This is the 165th episode of the podcast, and as you can hear, folks, it's a party tonight. This is the last episode that I'm going to be recording while I've got boots on the ground here in Japan. So I wanted to do something special tonight and bring on five of the most frequentest guests.
Four,
five. A lot of different guests. Some of the friends of the podcast who you've heard over the years. So I'm going to ask each of you to kind of introduce yourselves in the order that you're appearing on my Skype call. So first of all, we have Mr. Jim Mullins.
Oh,
welcome,
hello.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Yay, I've been on here a couple times.
Hi
guys, it's Mully. I'm
Yeah.
almost like Kevin's Ed McMahon.
Yes.
So I've been
you are correct, sir.
I've been a friend of the podcast for a couple years now. I live up in Shizuoka Prefecture. I've got my own podcast at the Mully's Place podcast, and my YouTube channel Warm and Strat.
Nice. All right, next in the rotation, we've got Mr. PJ, Kansai PJ. PJ, who the heck are you?
Yay.
Yay.
Who am I anymore? I used to have a YouTube channel. I don't anymore. I'm your friend. I'm Jim's friend. I know the other guys, although not well.
That's right. And where are you? Where do you hail from? And where are you in Japan?
I hail I'm from the U.S. And I live in Osaka now for awful 15, 20 years now. I don't know.
Something like that. Cool.
And if I'm pulling Ed McMahon, you have to be Paul Schaefer.
Ooh, nice one.
I don't disagree.
Nice. He's Canadian. Should I be proud of that? I don't know. Okay, next we have Mr. Chillin' Kansai. Scott, welcome to the show. Yay.
Glad to be here.
Is
Yep,
that
I'm Scott, Chillin'
Don't
Kansai.
ask.
Yeah. And I have a YouTube channel. I've known Kevin for a couple of years now. And I just started up an Anchor station. And I saw
nice.
Just Japan podcast was on over there as well. I don't know if you're still putting stuff there.
No, not really. But
Okay. But anyway,
in the future,
if you're there, come see me.
So that's Anchor.fm, right?
Yes.
What is that?
What's the name of your show?
It's app. It's Chillin' Kansai. Everything
Chillin'
is Chillin' Kansai because that keeps it simple.
Yeah, what is Anchor? What is Anchor.fm? If you could tell us a little bit about
it's a iOS and Android app that goes on your phone. It's basically a shortcut for podcasting. You just you hit record and talk into your phone, and it automatically does the syndication and stuff for you. The short updates will last for 24 hours, but you can hit save an episode, and it'll save it as a podcast. And I'm told that it will go out to iTunes and stuff like that, but I haven't really looked into that part so much.
Yeah, so it's just a kind of a fun new little kind of podcasting tool.
Yeah, similar to Audio Boo, but I think that the evidently it's a new version, and so you can do call-in. Listeners can call into your station, and you can replay their audio, which is really an interesting possibility. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Some features that have been added since I was tooling around with it.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Next, Mr. Andrew Higgins.
Hey.
Yay! Who I got to actually meet in the flesh last weekend.
Yeah, I snuck up behind you at Uniqlo.
That was really weird.
How did that happen?
We were actually because I knew Andrew was he was visiting Kansai. He was in the area, but I was just so busy doing family stuff and getting ready for our move to China next week that he was like, "Do we have a chance to meet up?" I'm like, "I don't know if I can. I'm gonna be shopping in Harborland today. I gotta go to Uniqlo and do this and that." And I just like rhymed off a few things I was gonna be doing. And so my family and I go to this place called Harborland in Kobe. It's like a big shopping mall, and we're shopping and we're in different
I've
stores.
been there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. we went to Gap and spent too much money, and then we went to Uniqlo, and I was like looking at a shirt, holding up a shirt, and then all of a sudden I hear behind me, "That's a nice shirt," and I turn around, and there's Andrew Higgins, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
God, Kevin,
Yep.
you're getting surprised all over the place
Yeah,
this
yeah,
month.
that was really surprising. I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, I had some friends that were going to be there, so I was like, well, I'm going to go meet up. I'm gonna go try to find Kevin, and I'll catch up with you guys later. So,
And sadly, I didn't have much time to interact with you. You just got to see me shopping for clothes with my family and my kids running around you, screaming and yelling.
hey, that's all right.
Yeah, it was good to meet you. And last but certainly not least, we have Mr. Brian Waters. Yay!
Yay!
What is up? Sometimes last is least.
Oh no, no, don't say that.
Last but definitely least.
It's my 2 yen.
That's right. At myCN on Twitter. Brian in Fukuoka from the United States, and now work in the forensic medicine department at a university. So I think, and I built a house in Japan. So that hit all the podcasts, Just Japan podcast.
If I may say, was a fantastic episode of the Just Japan podcast.
Which one was that? All of them were, weren't they?
The forensic one, that was really good.
I really did enjoy. As an academic, it's not my area, but I really enjoyed listening to that. I think that was the first time Brian was on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, the first time
that
he was. I had a very like clickbaitish type title for it. It was like real life CSI agent in Japan or something like that.
I thought it was like Rip Her Bra Off. Wasn't that what it was?
No, that was a different episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I was on that one too. So.
The one-handed approach I learned in high school. Yeah. So guys, I wanted to have so for those of you out there listening who are completely in the dark, and maybe some of you are, I got to admit, over the last month and a half, it's been quite infrequent for me to put out episodes, which is very uncharacteristic for the Just Japan podcast. But I've been going through a bit of a transition phase in life. For those of you who actually, I know a lot of you still don't know, because I still get lots of people asking me questions about teaching in Eikaiwa and things I don't do. I am an international school teacher, and after 9 years and change here in Japan, my family and I decided that we wanted to kind of up our game and move on to different things. And I'm actually going to be moving to Beijing, China, in just a few days from now. I know. And you know what? A lot of people on a regular basis have been sharing that sentiment with me on the Facebook, the Just Japan Stuff Facebook page, and on Twitter and stuff like that. But things, times we need to change. Sometimes we need to change.
What day do you go, Kevin?
I leave on Wednesday, the 9th of August.
Oh, wow. Next week.
Wow.
9 a.m.
Wow, that is coming up.
Mm-hmm. And right now I'm sitting in an apartment that looks like essentially a series of hand grenades went off around it.
Yeah.
So we've gotten rid of some of our furniture and some storage racks and shelves, which means then we just have, since we don't have anything to store the stuff in, it's just like kind of piled up on the floor. And basically this weekend is the full court press. Basically Saturday and Sunday we've got tons of stuff leaving the house. And PJ is going to be nice enough to help me a little bit on Sunday.
I will be there.
Cool.
From 2 to 4, right?
2 to 4, yeah. Because I accidentally got mixed up on Facebook message groups today. Instead of I started messaging something that I was like, basically what's going on right now is I'm trying to get rid of a lot of my furniture using things called Sayonara sales. So I'm living in Kobe, so I'm using the Kobe Sayonara Facebook group and the Osaka Sayonara Facebook group. And we're kind of at a crush point where we're in such a press to get out of here that I'm essentially just giving away furniture. So in Japan, if you want to throw stuff away, you got to pay a fee, right? So if I want to drag it down to the basement floor and throw it in my garbage area, I got to pay. I got to get a special sticker from the city of Kobe and pay a fee.
Well, it doesn't cost anything if you toss it in the riverbank.
Well, that's
a joke.
There's a few reasons why I don't think I can do that, Jim. Number one, don't have a car or truck.
I couldn't either.
And number two,
you know what? I wish I'd known when we were down there. I wish I'd known you were giving stuff away. We could have come over and we could have loaded our car up and taken some of that stuff off your hands.
I think we were still living the illusion at that point that we would have the time to kind of sell things carefully.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden it's just like, boom, oh my gosh, it's here. But luckily, when you basically say to people, you can have it as long as you come and take it away. A lot of people jump at that opportunity.
Yeah.
So we got people showing up over the weekend to take stuff away, and
yeah, we'll be down tomorrow.
Yeah. We got a few rolls of toilet paper here, Jim, and there's some fish food. No.
Yay.
Yay. Yeah, so we're going through that. So it's things are right now just chaotic and frantic. I thought, like, I finished full-time work on the 31st of July, and I thought that I would be able to, like, kind of enjoy my last few days in Japan. No, it's nuts. Yeah, so it's pretty frantic. So I mean, I know for myself, Brian, you've made over the years a few big moves from America to Japan with your family.
Yes,
this is
back and forth.
This is my first move ever with a family. So as a nomadic young man, I made many moves around the world, and that was easy because it was just me, and it didn't matter what I had and this and that. But it's a different story with the family, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when we moved from LA to Fukuoka, we had already lived in LA for 10 years, and we had 2 kids and, a bunch of stuff. So, yeah, it was the same kind of deal. It was like, all right, come and take it, whatever you want. It's like, pretty much anything for free. And then the rest of the stuff that we couldn't live without, we paid a pretty penny to have it shipped over here. So
we're doing this. We're doing the same thing.
Yep, exactly.
We actually will have a chunk of a shipping container sending stuff over to China. Yeah, we're gonna be shipping because I mean when you're uprooting your kids from everything they know and love, we can promise certain creature comforts, and we're not slumming it. We're actually, the reason why we're doing this is because we're moving up to a better opportunity in the world. So we don't want to just like throw everything away. But yeah. So so here we are, folks. And it's I don't know. I just wanted to get the guys on and talk about silliness in Japan, good times in Japan, summer in Japan, and the typhoon that's approaching.
Wait, what? There's a typhoon approaching?
You didn't know that?
That's unusual.
A big one.
It's not gonna hit. It's way south. It's gonna hit Okinawa anything at all.
Yeah, well, I live in Fukuoka, so we're worried about it. It's supposed to get here on Sunday.
Yeah, you guys always get knocked around. I'm gonna be
pretty
be
much.
selfish about that big typhoon. I'm just hoping that it doesn't deal with us because, like, on the 5th, that's the Kobe fireworks and the Yodogawa fireworks, and that's my last chance, or our last chance, the only chance we have this summer to see fireworks. So I'm just like, no, we gotta see the fireworks. That's a big part of Japan in the summertime. Fireworks and fireworks.
If I never see fireworks again, I'll be happy.
Oh, you curmudgeon.
Yeah, I know. But I'm sorry, how many? It's 3 or 4 of summer every year now for infinitum. At some point, it's just, I don't need it anymore. The heat, the humidity, the crowdedness, screw it. I can drink at home and be better.
You know what, PJ? I think you'd probably enjoy the fireworks more if you'd done it with us. We go to the pool hall and get up on the roof. We don't have a crowd.
No,
that's
nice.
We get to look across the city. We got food and drink up there, and then we're
That's
finished.
the
We
way
go
to
down to the pool hall and shoot some pool.
Nice. Okay. Well, hey, let's talk about fireworks for a moment here, guys. So we know PJ's position. It's hot, it's crowded, it's humid, and you're right. I can't deny any of those things. Scott, do you take the time to go out and check out any of the big fireworks events around Osaka or the Kansai?
I used to. I used to go up to Otsu in Shiga for their big fireworks in the summer.
I did that one once. It was great.
Yeah, it's great until you have to leave.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. Now, actually, by the way, so I mean, when for those of you guys listening out there in the Just Japan podcast land who may not have ever been in Japan, you're back in your home in America and Australia, the UK, and you're like, oh gosh, golly, I can't wait to get to Japan. I'm so stoked. I don't want to say that the people on this panel tonight may be a bit long in the tooth when it comes to their time in Japan.
Hey, at least we still got to.
Yeah, true. But Scott, you're
Most
not,
of them.
Scott, you're not a newbie to Japan, are you?
No, not hardly. I originally got here in '96, went home for a couple of years, and came back in 2003.
Yeah. So I mean, you've seen a lot of fireworks, right?
Yeah. You can, if you're in the right spot where I am now, you can see the PL fireworks sometimes. But I haven't gone looking for them in a while.
I suppose, like what you guys had both kind of alluded to, the whole it's really great until you got to go home.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that? Again, for all the people out there who have not experienced a massive fireworks display in Japan.
So imagine everyone in Japan coming to a single city and standing next to you for hours and hours. And then when the fireworks are over, from about 5 minutes before the fireworks are over to about 3 hours after, everybody's trying to get on one train.
That's perfect. That sums it perfect.
It's a lot like that.
That
sounds like fun.
Well, ironically enough, like we've got like on the so I live on Port Island in Kobe, and when I got here 9 years ago, the Kobe fireworks traditionally most people would kind of hang out in this area called Harborland, right, like the waterfront, and check it out because Port Island, all around the perimeter of Port Island, was normally a container port, but they leveled part of that container port and actually put 2 university campuses on the edge of it, and with this giant wide kind of promenade area that can fit tens of thousands of people. And when I got here 9 years ago, it's an amazing place to watch the fireworks, but it was kind of like unknown. So there was just actually literally a few hundred people. But as the years have gone on, that few hundred people turned into thousands and thousands of people who come to Port Island to see the fireworks. So, I mean, I can walk there. That's the advantage. My family and I can walk there and walk back home. Yay! But you watch all the people who are, the traffic chaos, all the people trying to get on the little tiny Portliner train. And yesterday, as I went through the Portliner station, I noticed some big posters. And here's another thing that Port Island is famous for: our concert hall. We get a lot of music festivals on Port Island, and I guess on the same day as the Kobe fireworks, there's going to be a big rock festival.
Great.
Oh, wow.
It's just like, oh my God.
That's some logistics planning right there.
Yeah, that's going to be old fun. That can be a fun mess getting home. Not for me. I'm okay, but so Andrew, up in your neck of the woods, where do you call home these days?
Well, I currently live in Tochigi Prefecture, but I'm actually down here in Ashia right now.
So you're in the Kansai.
Couple weeks. Oh yeah, I'm in Kansai for the next couple weeks. So
okay, so are you going to be doing some fireworks things going on? You're going to be checking out some fireworks in the next few weeks?
Yeah, I'm going to try to. I think we might actually be setting off some later this evening in the backyard.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things go. But yeah, I would like to get out. It's been a while since I've actually gone. Because you've seen one fireworks show, you kind of seen them all, but I don't know. There's just something about being out during festival season and seeing fireworks and being around people and just kind of experiencing the whole festival atmosphere around the summertime in Japan that I really like.
I'm having a flashback to many years ago when I first met PJ. I met PJ through YouTube. I actually met Mr. Kansai PJ because when I was
hold on. Didn't we all meet through YouTube?
Oh yeah, I guess
Pretty
so.
much, I think so.
I actually met Brian. I guess Brian through Twitter.
Yeah, that's right. Twitter.
That's how I would have met Brian through Twitter. He's the outlier here.
He's a rebel.
He's the non-YouTuber.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, many moons ago, when I was dating my Japanese girlfriend at the time, who was now my wife, I was living in South Korea in Busan. So everyone out there, my YouTube channel is called Busan Kevin. Yes, I know there is a city in Korea named Busan. I know that. That's where I lived when I made my YouTube channel. I still get that, by the way. Everyone's like, from time to time, someone will be like, "Do you know that that's a city in Korea?"
Kevin, I hate to interrupt the story, but I actually have to go now.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
I'm really sorry to bail. I just want to say hello to your audience.
Yes,
and that
PJ's a busy man. He's got to go.
Sorry, guys.
See you later, P.
See you later, PJ.
See you later, PJ.
Bye bye.
All right. We'll talk about PJ behind his back.
Yes.
No, but basically, ironically enough, when I first came to Japan back in 2008, I came here all wide-eyed and like, wow, this is Japan, but not too wide-eyed. I mean, I'd lived in Korea for 5.5 years before I came here. But I remember meeting PJ, and we love you, PJ. Before I get into this, but some people might describe PJ as being a bit cynical, and he
What? No.
So what the first time we went to a big a bon odori, a bon festival, like a dance festival, in downtown and along the waterfront in Kobe. And PJ we were drinking. It was just myself, my wife, and PJ, and he was kind of ranting about foreigners in Japan and about how the biggest kind of not jokes of foreigners, but the foreigners. Yeah, he was mocking them. Were the foreigners who dress up, especially foreign men who dress up in like not jimbes, but the yukatas. Foreign men who go to the festivals wearing yukatas, carrying like the little kind of traditional handbag, and who wear the gaita, the traditional wooden slippers. And he was like, and he was just like, every time we'd see one, he'd whine and moan about them. And I just remember, because if you guys who've had a chance to meet PJ, he's freaking hilarious. So his commentary just had us, like my wife and I, in stitches.
See, I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is seeing people, and this happens a lot in Tokyo, you'll see foreign tourists with their bathrobes from the hotel they're staying at walking around town.
Really?
Thinking that's what. Yeah, I've seen it in Tokyo numerous times, and it's very obvious. Like that's the bathrobe that they give you at the hotel. Like that's not.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it looks like a yukata.
Yeah,
it does.
Like
it's
a little.
It's very similar, but you can definitely tell the difference.
Yeah, I gotcha.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they think that's Japanese garb to wear out on the street. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't realize that they're walking around wearing their bathrobe. Oh, ain't that sweet?
See, they're just going for a slightly older version of the tradition where the old Japanese men walk down to the convenience store in their pajamas.
Right.
Or I mean, actually, I still see that. Well, I mean, you see a lot of the old guys, the old timers, wearing their jimbes, which is great because that's what a jimbe is traditional summer wear, right? And a jimbe is comfortable, but it's sometimes you'll just see like literally some old guy wearing his boxer shorts and a tank top.
Oh, sure.
AKA wife beater,
Wife beater and boxers. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess you've got your two types. You got your people that are just here in Japan. Maybe they're just visiting, or maybe they just got here so they want to try it out and be a part of the culture. So their Japanese girlfriend or whatever tries to convince them to wear the yukata to the fireworks or something. And then you've got the other end of the spectrum where the guy who's been here for, I don't know, dozens of years, and then he just doesn't care. So he's so like just ingrained into Japanese culture that he wears the jimbe everywhere he goes, or the yukata.
Yeah.
I haven't reached that mark yet.
Yeah, and I don't think you ever will, Jim. I think it's safe to say that there are definitely you do meet the foreigners, and often it tends to be men who are kind of like, I've been here so long, I am Japanese, I am part of the culture, but more so than any other Japanese person you've ever met.
Yeah, exactly. They take it way to the extreme.
Yeah, those are the kind of people who get really insulted when someone speaks to when a Japanese person speaks to them in English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
As we all roll our eyes.
Oh, you use chopsticks very. How dare you tell me that?
How dare you tell me that?
That is a microaggression.
How dare you compliment me?
Yeah, I believe you put it best one time, Jim. I remember a few years back you made a YouTube video. I think while you were in the Shinkansen station waiting to go possibly to Tokyo or something
Right.
for one of the meetups, and you said that. And I know, Jim, you speak Japanese quite well. And you've been here for a few years. And you made that comment that someone came up to you and spoke to you maybe you're in the train station. Someone came up to you and spoke to you in English, and you said, why would I ever get upset at that person? They don't know who I am. They don't know my story. They don't know, and millions upon millions of tourists come to Japan every year, right? Who don't
Right.
speak Japanese, and that person is seeing you, and they're just being helpful.
They're being nice.
They're being nice. They're being helpful. Because the 99% of the foreigners that you meet in Japan can't speak Japanese. Well, maybe not 99%, but 97%. But a lot of foreigners you're going to meet don't speak Japanese. So for a Japanese person to come up to you and just speak to you in English, they're not doing it to be smarmy.
Right. 97% can't speak it. 2.5% think they can.
Yeah.
That's me.
Think they can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so guys, I'm just going to jump around. I'm going to throw some questions out to you. A lot of them are not going to be serious questions at all. But we're here, okay, because hey, it's a summer. It's a summer episode because it's July. No, it's not. It's August. Oh my God.
Yeah, it is August.
It is August. So we're all kind of actually relatively in the same area. Actually 3 of us right now are in the Kansai. We got one down in Fukuoka, one up in Shizuoka. How are you guys coping with the summer so far? Is it beating you down yet? The
Not me.
The kind of grossness that I always joke around that my weather forecast, my daily forecast is gross with a bit of yucky followed with some nasty sweaty grossness.
No, I'm off. I'm on summer vacation at the moment. I don't go back to school until early September. So until then, my daytimes are spent here in the house in the AC. I don't go out. My first 2 weeks of vacation, I was outside the house once.
Oh my God.
I went to a lesson, and it was like 8:00 at night.
So you're
living the dream.
Living the dream. You're like Boo Radley.
Yeah. Yeah, I come out in the summer and I look like chalk. Yeah.
Oh, there'd be ghosts. It's a ghost house. Oh no.
And I wonder why I can't lose weight.
Oh my goodness. Scott, how about you? Find yourself out in a boot?
Yeah. Well, sort of. I hit the front door and then turn into a puddle and slide down the rest of the stairs. Yeah, it's I'm not built for Kansai summer very well.
Neither am I.
The humidity is just killer, and so about probably from next week I'll do exactly what Jim's doing and just go hide in a air conditioned room and come out in September.
Oh yeah, I'm naked all day in the air conditioner.
Hell yeah.
Nice. So you're starting vacation next week then, Scott?
Yeah, I'll be finished up with most of the stuff this week, and then it's just writing for dissertation stuff. So that's a pain in the ass.
Oh, that's right. You're working on your PhD.
I am. Me and PJ at the same place.
What's
Awesome.
What's that?
What's it in?
Pretty huge dong.
There you go.
Brian, do you have your PhD?
I'm working on it too.
Oh wow. Okay.
Awesome.
So 3 of you. 3, yeah. Oh my goodness. Good times, huh? Party.
So nobody's having a fun summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Jim sounds like he's having a good time, just naked loafing around the house.
Naked all the time.
That's
That's
right.
we haven't asked Andrew. How's your summer treating you?
really good. Like I'm down here in Kansai working on a web project, and so I'm inside all the time. So despite being on vacation, I'm literally sitting in front of an air conditioning unit right now. So
that's
yeah.
the way to do it.
You're doing some interesting. You're doing some social media work for an organization, right?
Yeah, it was a school I used to work with back in 2008 when I came to Japan for the second time.
Nice.
And they're wanting to get their kind of YouTube and social media stuff off the ground. And so they knew that I, dabble in that a little bit. So
In the
I,
occult.
yeah, I dabble, in many different things. But yeah, so they had me down here for the summer, and so I'm just kind of
Nice.
hanging out here and soaking up the
That's
AC.
awesome.
And
Hey guys,
Yeah,
can I say something real quick?
Sure.
I just switched from earbuds to the cans, the
Mhm.
the ones that go over your ears.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is incredible. This is so much better.
All right. Nice. I don't.
Okay, sorry.
I don't actually have a set of headphones. I only have the earbuds.
Yeah, well, I just found these. They were sitting here, and I was like, oh, that's right, I do it. Oh, and I was
Are
like,
those
oh,
are those
look,
are
it
those
fits.
Jim? You got your Beats by Dre?
No, no, these are cheap.
Uh,
These are Sony's.
I thought you were always kind of walking around like with your Beats by Dre. No. Okay.
Yeah. That's me.
um, okay. So, and how are things down there in Fukuoka, Brian?
Actually, I think this year is a little bit. It's not as bad as it's been in recent years, but I guess we still have August and September to go, so I can't really say that yet. But I grew up in North Carolina, so
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of used to heat and humidity, even though I did spend 10 years in LA, which was nice. But yeah, so and then when it takes me a long time to get to work, but I'm usually in an air conditioned bus or a train or subway, so and then my office is air conditioned, so when I do have to venture outside, but
Period.
yeah, it's just a short period,
Okay. Nice.
ain't too much.
I remember when I first came to Japan, I arrived in August. It was this time of year, and we landed in Narita. And it was, well, you know how it is. Your flight gets here at like 7 o'clock in the morning, right? And by the time you get through customs and everything, it's like 8:30, quarter to 9. And this was before they had the Narita Express, and we had to take a bus into Tokyo.
Okay.
And when we walked outside, oh my God, it was a wall of heat and humidity, like something I had never experienced in my life. And it took your breath away. You guys know how it is when you walk out in that. I mean, this is a type of place. I mean, Tarzan would sweat here.
Yeah.
Especially
I think
that was
somehow.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
It's almost even worse, like in Tokyo for some reason. I think just because of the concrete jungle, but it was just like even worse than Fukuoka. That when you just walk outside in Tokyo in the middle of summer, it's just like you're instantly
Well,
completely
absolutely.
drenched
I
with
mean,
sweat.
they call them heat islands, right? You've got all that pavement and all that absorbing the heat. It actually causes like where like large cities like Tokyo have their own kind of like unique weather systems around them and stuff, all because of that heat generated from all the cement and concrete. Like that.
Yeah, well, I've actually got a video on my channel, probably it's 6-7 years ago since I put it up, but it was 100% humidity and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. And I was just standing there, and it was 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
8 or 8:30 in the morning, and I was just standing there dripping with sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I came to Japan was during the summertime, and yeah, that same thing. You get off the plane, step off into Narita, and it's just, what did I do?
Yeah. Oh my God. Turn the plane around.
I tell people, if you want to come to Japan, don't do it in the summertime.
No,
Like,
absolutely.
there's other things to do around the year, and like honestly, if you want to enjoy your time,
Come in the fall, come in the spring.
come in the fall or the spring. Yeah, like it's just
unless
you
you
don't
visit,
have to
unless
be
you want to
outside.
visit a sauna.
Yeah.
I was in Kyoto for a conference at the beginning of the week, and I woke up early on Tuesday morning. I'm like, I want to go hit Starbucks and grab a cup of coffee. I'm like, hey Siri, what's the temperature outside? And she's like, it's 6 a.m. and it's 27 degrees outside. I'm like, no. How badly do I need the coffee? I decided I needed it badly enough, but that's just wrong.
Yeah, I mean, for all you guys out there listening who've been like long-term followers, because I'm not active doing it now, but I used to be a marathon runner. And one thing I learned over the years when I try to manage my time with running and when was the best time to go running and this and that. I just absolutely, I experimented with running really early in the morning, like waking up at 4 in the morning and going for runs, or going running at night. Definitely running at night's the way to go. Because even if you head out the door at 4:30 in the morning in the summer, it's already 25 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And by the time, like, if you're doing if you're training for a marathon and you're really fit and you're doing like 10, 12, 15K runs, by the time you finish at 6, it's already almost up to 30.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely miserable.
Sure. Well, that brings back a memory, Kevin, for me. Back in 2011, I want to say it was in June.
Yes.
Somebody did some. Yes.
I know a memory you're going for.
Yeah, it was for to raise money for the victims of the Tohoku earthquake and tsunami.
I did my homemade marathon.
Kevin did a one-man marathon from Kobe to Osaka and back, correct?
Well, it was an ultra marathon. I did an ultra, so an ultra is a distance above a full marathon, and I did 60 kilometers, which is like 38 miles.
And if I remember correctly, it was June.
It was near the end of June, actually.
Yeah.
I was supposed
because the day you did that was the same day as the YouTube party in Tokyo.
And so that
I was all teary-eyed and drunk, and everybody wish Kevin luck today on his run. And shut up, Mully, sit down, put the microphone up.
You actually helped me. You helped me a lot that day with your tweets. That was the 2011 after, of course, the horrible earthquake and tsunami and all that. So I decided to do a homemade fundraiser for Save the Children Japan, and I decided to do a homemade ultra marathon. And it's kind of like a lot of people are like really impressed in the days with the kind of technology, early in days. I was using a running app where basically it's common now, but at the time it was very kind of innovative in 2011. But basically, if you followed me on Facebook or on Twitter, you could follow.
I remember that you were all excited. Oh man, you guys got to check this app out.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It reads your apps. It reads your tweets to me.
Yeah, but you could actually follow me like on a map. You could follow this little icon of me doing the run, and then if you sent me a tweet or you posted on my Facebook page, it would read it to me.
Yeah, I was sending him tweets like, "Hey,
a lot of dirty stuff, a lot of dirty stuff." But when times are dark, when it's 30 degrees out and you're on you're on kilometer 50, having someone send some like kind of nasty, skanky messages your way, actually kind of puts a smile on your face.
Got to keep the mood up, right?
Thank you, Jim. But that was a rough one. I remember I think I posted a picture of my feet online after that too, and that was probably grossed out the world.
Well, and this makes a good opportunity to shout out my Mully Gump video too, because that was the one that we made. We collaborated together for pushing your run.
Yeah,
advertising your run.
That was cool. I think we raised more than
$6,000, like $6,000, wasn't it? Something like that, or was it $3,000?
No, more than $4,000 offhand, like $4,300, $4,400, something like that for Save the Children Japan, which was pretty cool. That was awesome. It was a very, how shall I say, humbling experience. And then I ended up I ran that on a Saturday, and then I did like a regular family day with the next day with my kids and my wife. And then, my son, I didn't have two at that point. And then on Sunday afternoon, it all I fell apart physically. I missed a couple of days of work. It was just like heat exhaustion or whatever it was. But good times. I'm not in the shape to do that again. Not at this point. But as I choke and cough and gag here on this end of things. Okay, so guys, it's kind of a somber occasion in a way. It's kind of a sayonara party. But one thing I want to say is I definitely want to have you. I do plan to have you miscreants, you delinquents, on again.
Awesome.
Because of course, how are we conducting this interview, everybody? We're doing this via Skype, and that's the one thing a lot of people have kind of been lamenting to me on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Japan stuff, or on Twitter, twitter.com/JalenKev. People like, so you're leaving Japan, it's over, right? It's done. I'm like, actually, no. I mean, that's not my plan. Actually, out of 165 interviews I've done while I've lived in Kobe, I've probably only conducted 5 face to face. Like, because most people live in different parts of the country. And then honestly, there's even been people who've lived in Kobe, and I'm like, actually, the sound quality would be much better if we just did it via Skype. But yeah. So the plan is continue once I get situated and all that stuff.
I'm going to say it's probably doubtful that it'll be weekly.
Well, certainly in the beginning, yes, and you're right. Maybe it's going to become more of a tokidoki thing, but we'll have to see. I mean, it's been not weekly recently, just because life.
Well, yeah.
Life
Well, you got a
catches up to
reason
you, right?
for this one.
Yeah, and I'll have a reason for the next while too. But we'll see how it goes. But best intentions, because
Right.
there's a lot of you people out there listening right now, and that's something that I can't dismiss. With this podcast, I have built quite a large audience, and I'm thankful to all of the awesome peeps who listen. So I don't want to just leave them in the lurch, but I think one of the things that kind of makes my former colleagues and stuff feel a bit better when they're like, "Oh, we'll never see you again." I'm like, "You will see me again, because my wife's from this part of Japan, and my kids were born here, and I'm now in a situation where I plan on visiting often." So like we're leaving in August. The next week, but we actually already have our tickets bought. We're going to be coming here for a winter holiday.
Awesome.
Yeah, for New Year's. Yeah, I can't imagine not being here for New Year's, right?
We'll
With the
definitely.
grandparents.
Yeah, exactly. So I think my last teaching day is on the 22nd of December, but we're flying it on the 25th, and we'll be in the Kansai until January 4th.
Fantastic.
And then
Nice.
And then my summer holiday, we finish. I think we finish on the 15th of June. The next day, we hop on an airplane. We'll be landing in at Kansai Airport, and we'll be spending a couple of weeks here in Kansai, and then we'll be heading back to Canada for a few weeks. So
Nice.
that's kind of.
So
I'm actually now I'm with people are like, why are you changing jobs? Well, see, now I'm in a position actually where I can do that financially. Never could do that before. And honestly,
That's good.
my new company is paying for me and my family to fly back to Canada next summer.
That's awesome.
So
Wow.
yeah. So it's good
That's
stuff.
great.
And that's going to be the way it works every summer, So
Now I have a question, Kevin. Is the free flight to Canada, is that partially to get your visa renewed?
No, absolutely not. It's just part of the
Okay.
package.
Okay.
It's kind of a corporate package, just like an incentive for families to want to come and work at the school, and that's kind of a standard package with big international schools. So if you're a foreign hire from abroad, they'll bring you to, for example, Japan, Korea. If I had worked at if I had been in Canada and I got a job at a big international school in Japan, they would fly me back home every summer for free as part of the package. But if I'm here in Japan and I get hired, it's actually almost impossible to get hired at a big international school if you're on the ground. It's called a domestic hire. And they're not preferable. They seem to want people who don't have the local knowledge, who are very new to things.
Right.
But ironically enough, so I wouldn't get that package. I'd get, if I did get hired, I could get a salary, but I wouldn't get a package. But if I left Japan, worked for a few years, and then got hired by a school in Japan from another country, then I could get a nice big corporate package, which might involve like free rent or subsidized rent, free tuition for my kids, airfare every year back home for vacation. It's an interesting game. I'm learning, but I've kind of I've up leveled, so I'm getting in there. So I'm going to be going to China right now. The contract is for 2 years, and we'll see what happens after that. Yeah. I know, and there's one thing out there, you guys, all the folks that are listening. I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, I don't like Japan. I gotta get out of Japan. I hate Japan. Oh God, no, not at all. I'm moving on because we have a really great career opportunity and
Right.
financial opportunity for the family. But I would have no qualms about coming back to Japan if I got a really great job. So never say never. I mentioned that we talked about that, Jim, in person, right?
Mm-hmm.
and Andrew, but yeah. So who knows? Who knows? We don't know where this will go. But yeah. So guys, I don't want to keep you too late. It's I got to admit, I think part of my motivation for kind of hurrying things along right now is I'm sitting in a room that has no air conditioner. Yes.
Me too.
Okay. Sorry,
Not
Brian.
me.
Yeah.
Not me.
I'm naked with the air conditioning on.
I was just gonna say, I bet Jim is naked.
I'm not naked. There's no air conditioner, and I'm really gross.
I'm not naked. I've got socks on.
Okay.
Just one though.
Right.
Where it counts. Oh my
On
goodness.
his PhD.
On his PhD. Okay, so guys, I want to thank you for joining me on episode 165 of the podcast, the kind of Sayonara in Japan episode. I'm gonna get this one up before I leave Japan. Actually, I need to get this up tomorrow because that will be my only opportunity because I think my internet will be cut off on Sunday.
Well, Kevin, before we sign off here, I know that we'll stay in contact,
of course,
through Skype like this. Yeah, like it's not like we talk every day anyway. So, but
we keep in touch way frequently. We definitely do.
Yeah, sure. And you still got all our social media, Facebook, and all that crap.
Yep, and I've got VPNs. I've paid some good money to have some VPNs installed on my phone, my wife's phone, and my computers.
Well, I just wanted to say that when I first got onto YouTube back in 2010, I think it was, Kurt was, so anybody knows Softy Papa, he was the one that kind of got me into this. And you found my channel through him, I guess.
Yeah.
And I remember you had commented on some of my videos, and then you and we had a Skype conversation one night. And you were that next day you shouted out my channel, and I picked up a whole bunch of subscribers from that. So you were, and I think that was before I won that video of the year contest too. And I think you had,
yeah.
I think you had shouted that out, and you got people over there voting for my video, and then people subscribing to my channel, and so you were very instrumental in the early growth of my channel. And we've been friends ever since. And I'm gonna, even though we don't see each other very often, I'm gonna miss that you're not, that you're not down there.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, same here. It's been an absolute honor and a pleasure to be able to have you this close and interact with you as often as I have been able to. You're a good man, and we're gonna miss you.
Because the way it is now, I can hop in the car and I can be down there in 6 hours.
Just 6 hours. And
me too.
And both you guys came down to that. We had a party. My friends organized a farewell party for my family and I a couple weeks back. And Jim, you surprised the shit out of me by showing up. That was pretty shocking. If you guys go to, is that on your YouTube channel?
No, I thought you did it.
No, I didn't do that. Did you put on your Facebook or something?
Okay. It's only been on Facebook. Okay, yeah, I'll put it up on my YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't shared that. Actually, I don't even have a copy of that.
Oh, okay.
Someone showed it to me on their phone. But basically, guys out there, a couple of my colleagues said like we're gonna organize a goodbye party for you, and I thought it was like just gonna be like a few people coming to drink and meet my family and just kind of local people, but I made a Facebook event page and I said, you know what, I'm going to invite my friends, and I invited Jim, and I'm like, and I did a kind of like a ceremonial, a courtesy thing, because of course Jim lives in Shizuoka, which is really far away. There's no way he's going to come down to our goodbye party, but like Jim will know I cared, and he's my friend, and I invited him, and all that stuff.
Right, and when I click I'm not going, you'll understand that, I live 6 hours away by car and that I can't really make it.
But
Lo and behold,
you made it.
I made it.
And you surprised the
We
crap
did
out-
not tell Kev. We did not tell Kevin. Scott knew. Scott knew I was coming. I arranged it through him.
And our friend Sarah knew, and Sarah was being
Well,
Sarah was being such a liar too. She was,
I'll give you the timeline, Kevin. I contacted Scott first.
Okay.
And then Scott put me in with Sarah.
And Sarah was like pretending she didn't know who Scott was. She's like, "Who
Yeah.
is it? Who is that guy?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
talking to me. He's really
yeah.
friendly. I think I know him from somewhere, but I'm not sure." And I'm like, "I think you met him once at a YouTube meetup." But
Right.
yeah. But so Jim's got video of this, and I think maybe he'll upload it. But you will legitimately see me break down and cry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It doesn't happen often.
It was glorious.
That was that was like just kind of utter, complete, like lost control crying.
God, man, that party was from noon to 3,
Yeah.
and we left here. We were on the road about 9 o'clock that morning. We had to take the dog over to the pet hotel, and we dropped him off. And by the time we got everything organized and we're finally on the road, it was like 9 o'clock, right? And it's like a 5.5 hour drive down there. And I think we showed up like what, 2:15 or something like that.
Near the yeah.
Yeah, we hit some traffic, and I thought, oh well, we're not going to make it. And but we got there about the last half hour.
Yeah,
or so,
you got there, but then we made the best of it. We had my family got together with you and Tomoko, and we had a
great dinner with you and
Brazilian barbecue
and the kids.
Yeah, it was awesome. And Scott, thank you so much for that. And Andrew, it was great to bump into to randomly
definitely
have an encounter in a clothing shop with you. Oh my goodness!
Right. I mean, it's funny because
there's a headline.
Yeah,
that sounds nasty.
Busan Kevin's encounter with English in Japan.
The funny thing is, 9 years ago at this point, I was sitting in the same school that I'm at right now, and I was still in college at the time and had no idea like if I wanted to live in Japan full time, and then eventually made that decision and went back and changed my major. But I found a comment that I had left on one of your videos 9 years ago about how I was like, oh, I can't wait to live in Japan someday. It's going to be so cool. And like, that was my first kind of introduction to your channel.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And here we are. And Brian and I don't have that rich background in history, but I've definitely been following. Not yet. Just wait until he shows up. He'll be like, one day I walk into my apartment in Beijing, and he'll be just standing there with a cup of coffee, be like, "Hey, here I am.
I'm here."
I'm like, "Oh God."
He'll be like, "I've got some conference in Beijing, so I thought I'd come and say hello," or something like that.
Yeah, please do. But I mean, how long have you been on Twitter, Brian?
Pretty much since it started.
The inception. I mean, I got onto Twitter in 2010, and I remember you being one of the first people I followed, like the kind of original Japan people I was following. So
right at the time I was living in LA, so I was kind of following a bunch of Japan YouTubers and J-vloggers and people on Twitter just to kind of keep,
Okay, well, when was it when you landed here? When did you land in Fukuoka? I mean,
2011.
2011. Okay. So it was around the time of the earthquake. I remember. It kind of
maybe it was a week after that. Yeah.
Okay, when all the buzz and talk. I remember you were someone who I interacted with or just read and saw. Yeah. Wow. Well, guys, everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to stop by the podcast tonight, guys. That was awesome. And,
thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And I'm
good to be here, Kev.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna try to wrap this up in one kind of organic thing without doing all the cuts and stuff. All you guys out there listening, everyone out there listening to this episode of the podcast, of course, you can find us on all the major download places where you go, but the main place to go is the justjapanstuff.com. And if you want to follow my adventures in China, because that's where I'm going to be heading to, Beijing, with my family in just a few days. Oh my God, we're not ready yet. But it'll happen. It's going to work out. Follow me on Instagram at JLandKev, on Twitter at JLandKev, on YouTube at Busan Kevin. And yeah, so guys, so that's where they can find me. Where can they find you, Jim?
Well, guys, you can find me at www.mullysplace.com. That's MULLYS place.com. All links to everything on Twitter, Vine, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff's over there.
Nice. Okay, Scott, where can people find you?
Probably the most prominent place I'm on is YouTube and Twitter at Chillin' Kansai, but pretty much I am Chillin' Kansai everywhere you want to be. So if there's a social media, look for Chillin' Kansai. I'm probably there.
Nice. Okay, Andrew, where can people find you?
Well, if you head over to facebook.com/Higgins in Japan, you can find all the stuff over there. I'm on Twitter, YouTube's, all that kind of good stuff. So just do a search for Higgins in Japan and I should turn up.
Cool. Brian, where can we find you?
At MyTN on Twitter, and that's about it.
Nice.
No YouTube or anything yet.
Come on.
Naya, come on.
You want to do it?
Come on.
Come on. Come over to the dark side. Okay, or at least start a podcast. Cool, guys. Well, for all you folks out there listening, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're happy. I hope you're healthy. And I'll be talking to you maybe not next week, but in a while.
I'm going to do your sign off, Kevin.
Sure.
Okay, everybody, make sure you say your name in order. Okay, this is Mully.
This is Scott.
Brian.
Oh,
Andrew?
wait.
This is Brian.
This is Higgins in Japan.
This is Kevin.
Keep it between the lines.
If you got a minute to spare, don't go anywhere, stay right there, cause Kevin is about to speak. Stay in peace on the street, what a man you can't deny. Ooh, son Kevin, it's your guy.
All right. Woohoo! Oh, and I dropped my mic, literally.
There you go. You got the Mully's Place podcast ending.
Oh, no.